Hello people, this is your host, Iridium Axel here, and you may notice I am in a cave and I have 21 diamonds. That is because I just recorded an 11-minute episode where I found every single one of those diamonds, but guess what, my microphone wasn't plugged in, so that's really dumb. Anyway, welcome back to another RedstoneCraft Tech Talk for episode 3. Episode 3 was already recorded, but not with the mic. Well, that's annoying. Anyway, let's move on. First of all, my first topic for today is Otherworld, a Terraria-like game recently unveiled by Demologic, or Relogic, however it is, because their YouTube channel is Demologic, but the company is Relogic. It's confusing. So now I have to record for another 10 minutes. If you couldn't tell, I'm kind of annoyed at this. Alright, so what I think this means is absolutely nothing, really. I mean, it's just a game developing company developing a new game. Does it look like Starbound? Yes. Is it going to be exactly like Starbound? We don't know, but we can hope not, because it's not nice to copy your own work. Yeah. At first I thought it was going to be the Terraria sequel, because in the unveiling video it said Terraria, Otherworld. So, you could see how I could be confused by that. I don't know if this entire episode will be caving or not, but I plan to go to the surface by the next episode. Anyway, so Otherworld, I think it will be a fun game, and if I do end up getting it once it comes out, I will most likely do a Let's Play. So yeah. Any sort of cool stuff in it, I definitely think it could make an improvement upon the popularity of Relogic at the moment, because how it works with Terraria and stuff at Relogic, Terraria was their crowning achievement. Everyone loved it for a really long time, but it's starting to go down in popularity now that the latest update is no longer very new. So people, the way Terraria is once you complete the game, you're left wanting more out of it. Like with any game. But it's not like Minecraft, where you can continually play it, even in an older version. With Terraria, you really have to want to play it. Like, there has to be some sort of content that you want. You don't just play it for the creativity. Of course, there are always fun boss fights to do, but why do fun boss fights when you know they're adding a new boss in a few weeks? Let me see what level I'm at. 29, that's above diamond level. So, I doubt I'm going to be finding any more diamonds. That's the main thing I'm upset about. Not the lost video. Well, not the lost audio. Just the absolute dumbness that is the 21 diamonds off camera. But anyway, Terraria thrives on new updates. Without it, it is very easy for it to die out. And murder. Mrs. Further. Alright, I see a bunch of spiders back there on multiple different levels, so I'm not going to go fight them. Instead, I'm going to jump down here and start torching it up. Whew. This is a very large area that could do well with some pretty blue rocks. Yeah. So, speaking of Terraria, this brings me to my next subject, which is Terraria 1.3. Terraria 1.3 will be coming out quite soon. Sometime a little later this year. And so far, they have had a whole bunch of beta releases, testy things. And it looks pretty cool. I think there's even a Let's Play of it by Chippy Gaming. I'm not positive of that, but I'm pretty sure. I've almost broken another iron pickaxe. I might want to make that diamond one soon. Yeah. So, Terraria 1.3 is coming out. It looks really promising. They are adding new, I think, either a new boss or a new wave, battle. To be honest, I have not really looked that far into it, just because I've been lazy. 3 saddles, power 4. Oh, this is good. This is really good. One moment. Alright, sorry about that slight interruption. I am now back. If you're wondering what texture pack I'm using, it is a custom texture pack by me, for me, to me. Yeah. Anyway, back on the subject of Terraria 1.3. When it comes out, I will be resuming my Terraria series on a new world with a new character. Because, if you do not know, my last Terraria world, I accidentally advanced really, really far off camera. Because I thought it was recording, but it wasn't recording. So, yeah. That happens a lot to me now that I think about it, especially considering it just happened. 3 saddles. I guess I'll start digging to the surface while I talk about our next subject, which is Sony's new Google Glass type product. Basically, there is a product they are releasing. I do not remember what it is called, but it's basically Sony's equivalent of Google Glass. Only, in my opinion, not as good. But you be the judge for yourself. It is half the price of Google Glass. Looks more like a pair of glasses. But it has one major flaw. And that flaw is, to work, it has to be connected from a small wire to this circular box thing. And that is not the most appealing look. Of course, the box does clip on your shirt, but that's not what people want, particularly. Sorry about this. I have to be very focused to kill a witch. What the heck? Why do you exist? I'm sorry if this is, like, insanely dark for you. I may brighten it. I don't really have a choice in the matter because I'm out of, wood. Though there is this wood. I don't know. I'll just dig up. Anyway, it looks like it could go somewhere, but the attachment is not the most pleasant thing on the eyes. Of course, I could be wrong. They could do whatever and just get it because it's half the price of Google Glass, but does basically the same thing. I'm not sure how the graphics on it work, because in the test video, everything was green. Of course, this is an early version of it. I do not believe it's released yet. I think it's just been unveiled. But it's nothing to start worrying about. So, who knows? They could change the entire thing completely later. Anything could happen, really. At this point, it's anybody's game. Anyway, on to my next subject for this conversation with myself. What is the best processor brand for the money? Now, some people may not know this, but I have migrated from being Intel alone to an AMD guy mainly. Now, this does not mean that I hate Intel. I actually quite love it. It's technically better than AMD, but for the price, you cannot beat AMD. Because you can get a processor that compares to a high-end i5 for $200, which is it's really good. I just realized I should probably make a pillar from where I came up. It was in this pool. There we go. I think my house might be this way. Not exactly sure. I might have to get someone to come on and tell me where spawn is. Anyway, so AMD simply gives a bunch of cores and a very high clock speed for a good price. Their current best processor is like $250 for a 4.7 with a turbo boost, which means when it needs to, it can boost itself up to 5 gigahertz. So that's really powerful, and it has 8 cores. So it's an extremely strong processor to go with an extremely strong graphics card. Compares to a high-end i5. So I'd say that's pretty dang good. But thing is, AMD doesn't have anything above that. Nothing AMD even compares to the Intel i7 or even Xeon, because i7s, they're just like an insane amount of performance. In other words, for casual use, no one would be able to push an i7 to its limits. I mean, no one. Not even Morgan Freeman. He can do anything. Anyway. So basically, it depends on what you're doing. Because if you want an ultimate workstation, you definitely go for Intel. But at the same time, you're going to have to spend hundreds more if you get Intel. So if you just want a regular gaming build, definitely go for AMD. My brother has an AMD 6300 processor. AMD FX 6300. And what this is, it's slightly above the bottom AMD processor. No, not the bottom AMD processor, but the bottom AMD FX processor. So that is very interesting, because his computer, it also has AMD R7 something graphics card, and it runs whatever. Like, seriously, he heavily modded Skyrim, put in a ultra high resolution texture pack, did a whole ton of stuff, but his computer didn't even break a sweat. Only thing it did break a sweat with was Minecraft, which is very curious considering it's Minecraft. But then again, the game is very poorly optimized, so yeah. Oh, and by the way, the game, haha, I just got you. Woo. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. On to another topic that I was debating whether to discuss, but I didn't write it down, so I don't know what I'm going to say on it. One person has a few arguments as to why he thinks Apple might buy Tesla Motors, the car company. Not to mention there have been a lot of rumors about Apple making a car, which would be very strange, but kind of awesome. I just murdered those sheep, but I have no wood. Poor sheep. Yeah. So, Apple buying a car company? My mind goes, why? Because they're already filthy rich off of the phone market, but they are going down because everyone's starting to hate Apple with a burning vengeance. Not all the teenage girls that are their main crowd, but definitely a lot of people. So, in part, I understand, but in another completely logical part, I do not at all. Because I just don't get it. Why? I understand that they might want to make a car at some point, but why? That's the part that just I don't understand. Why do they want to make a car when they have such a successful business? Sure, the computer market has not been the best lately for them, but see, there, diamonds. I got it. But truthfully, I don't see any reason that they need to go into business as a car company. They're financially stable. That would be like Nintendo going back into toy making. It's not required. They have billions of dollars in backup funds. Now, I don't know if that's the same for Apple, but you never know. Now do you? Alright, I guess that's going to be my last story for today. So, I'm going to go ahead and end off this episode here. Thank you guys a ton for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully in my next recording I will not mess up. Bye-bye. Hello people, this is your host, E03 Maxwell here, and today we are playing on RedstoneCraft SMP, and this is spawn, so I can't do anything.